right, now listen. Don't forget, the next just a few minutes, we're going to go down to hear one more time Pee Wee, Mozzarella, and the Flutes at Dixieland. That'll be coming up. But first, we want to hear this. That's the German music in the background. Another one of our good sponsors who's been with us for so many years here.
Musik,
Yeah.
andere Musik, schnell.
The music smells? Is that what you said? I know that. Oh, please. Listen, I may tell you, that's the old Pooey himself, the old Stein, which started out on this program with one location at 1339 Connecticut Avenue Northwest. And now they have two. No thanks to us, of course. The other location is the Old Stein Pub, which is at 2603 Connecticut Avenue Northwest, and that is just one block from the Sorghums and the Sheraton Park Hotel. Listen to the good times they're having in there right now. That's right. Why don't you join in? Join in the Singerfest. Enjoy the Knockwurst and the Bratwurst and the delicious Schnitzel à la Holstein and the German potato pancakes and that cold Michelob beer on draft. Everybody for Michelob, let's hear from you. That's right. Yes, of course. They're all out there tonight, friends, and they're opening the keg. And there it is. These guys didn't work this hard when we had the show. What is this? So join us at the Old Stein, 1339 Connecticut Avenue, open for lunch or dinner. On the new Old Stein Pub, open from 5 until 2 in the morning, 7 days a week at 2603 Connecticut Avenue Northwest. Well, now, from all of us at the Old Stein, we say, Wiedersehen and pay your check. Now, thank you. Now, let's go down to New Orleans. And we got a good crowd in the room. Happy afternoon, everybody. From the beautiful Hotel Rosenfeld in New Orleans, Louisiana, high above Lake Pontchartrain, where the Creole cuties meet the Bayou beauties. It's time for the Flukes of Dixieland. Brought to you by Jubal Early Stewart, the greatest name in grits, both instant and regular. And they're a little rough today. Let me move around the room. And now, crawling up to the microphone, here's the star of the show, Pee Wee Mozzarella. Yay, Pee Wee, yay, yay. Pee Wee, how are you? Hey. Wait a minute here. Hello. Pee Wee, why aren't you in the studio?
The Bay Bridge. I was in traffic.
Traffic at the Bay Bridge. All right, Pee Wee, get here as quick as you can. All right.
There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Jack.
Pee Wee's going to get the band going, even though he isn't here, friends. He's going to direct him by the telephone, and they're playing After You've Gone. Great performance by Pee Wee Mozzarella, phoning it in long distance. Well, I'm overcome with emotion, folks. That's it for today. From the beautiful Hotel Rosenfeld in New Orleans, high atop Lake Pontchartrain, in the Crescent City, where the Creole cuties meet the Bayou beauties. It's been the music of Pee Wee Mozzarella and the Flutes of Dixieland, brought to you by Jubal Early Stewart, the greatest name in grits. Till next time, so long!
Fantastic. The great Nat King Cole Wild is Love. Walker and Scott, America's #1 losers. I don't understand. With all the friends we got, how do we goof it? It's fabulous. The calls, the nice people who've come by in the studio, and things have quieted down just a little here now, so that we had we thank the Channel 5, WTTG, and the WRC and WTOP film people came over. Gordon Peterson, and did such, little interviews, and they'll be on tonight. And, of course, Channel 4, our own beloved Channel 4. And especially thanks to so many people who have taken the time to write. And for all of us, for Larry Walton, America's #1 morning man, and for our Johnny Wilcox and Mac McGarry. Mac McGarry, the greatest announcer in the world. Really and truly, I believe that. I don't think there's anybody. Mac McGarry and Johnny Batchelder. Johnny Batchelder is WMAL. So they're my two favorite announcers, outside Eddie Walker, of course. Throw him in because he's home, folks. But and Stan Karras and Paul Anthony and Bill Clark, all of us on the station, the new sound. And one of the nice things too today, quite a few of the new fellas that are going to be working with the new WRC came in the control room, spent some time, and we appreciate that too and wish them well. Get sloppy sentimental. We won't try to do that because we'd probably all of us break down and cry. It hurts too much to laugh, as a guy once said. Or we're too old. What is it? We're too old to cry, and it hurts too much to laugh. But especially want to remind all of WRC TV friends that I'll be on Channel 4 and do the weather. and continue to do that. And Eddie and I will be on next week with Johnny Holiday. Johnny called us up and invited us. He knew he'd be thrown out in the cold, and so, take care of these, because he knows how helpless and pitiful disc jockey is without a radio show. So Johnny Wilcox. Maybe Johnny Wilcox will come over too. Ask him, Johnny Holiday. Johnny Holiday has invited us to come over to WWDC. We'll be there all next week in the morning. So join us in the morning on WWDC. The Joy Boys and Johnny Holiday on WWDC all next week over WWDC, as they used to say. I know WW is the way you say it. The Catholic Standard, the Washington area's official Catholic weekly newspaper, celebrates its 21st anniversary in October. Catholic Standard Press Month. Renew your subscription or become a subscriber through your own parish. And that's the word on the Catholic Standard. The light's ready. Let's switch down now to WWPU Sorghums, West Virginia.
How you doing, everybody? All you pea pickers out there in the radio land. Welcome to the all-night country music picking and singing jamboree from the country music capital of the world, WWPU in Sorghums, West Virginia.
I don't care who you are.
Now, this is your old coffee-drinking night owl, Hootmore. My brother No is on the phone. No! Get off. No. Stop beating up the salesman, No, and get on the air here, will you?
Sick to death, them salesmen hanging their shorts over the transmitter to dry. I mean, that's disgusting. One of them was in them.
Better than last year. Last year they didn't have no shorts.
He's liable to short out the transmitter.
Well, we never needed that salesman anyway.
Didn't really need the transmitter.
We're going to be here for about 14 hours of continuous music and picking and singing.
I'm picking and he's scratching,
That's
and we
right.
love everything about you. Just, if you don't kill that thing,
Want me to
sugar
fade
bugger,
that out now,
I'm
do you?
going to ram this microphone right
Okay,
down your throat.
Which one of them things turns it? No, that's
Look
the one.
at his eyes in there. Engineers, you can know where he's been up in the holler last week because his eyes all bloodshot, look like a road map. Drinking all that white lightning. It's disgusting. Men come in here with a breath like that, lit a match, and blew 3 doors off.
Well, you can tell it's going to be a fun night here in the old corral, don't you? All right, our first sponsor this week, friends and neighbors, is the Adenoid School of Radio announcing of Loudmouth, Maryland.
That's right, Smart Alex's group, friends. Y'all know Smart Alex. You see him on TV. Well, this is the summer budget, and they can't afford TV, so they're on radio. And you can imagine how far down the ladder they've come because they're on our show. Friends, how'd you like to be a radio announcer? You think your voice is only good for calling hogs, slopping pigs, or calling the wife, huh? Well, that just ain't necessary. Slopping the wife? No, that ain't gonna work. We don't fool around with that one. It ain't necessarily so, beloved.
That's right, friends. Now, we want you to hear what Mr. Otis Bumgartner has to say about the success that he's had after getting his adenoids course. Otis?
Well, thank you just a whole lot. I had the adenoids course, and I think it did me worlds of good, and it also helped me find a fine job.
Where are you working, Mr. Bumgartner?
Well, I announced the arrival and the departure of buses down at the depot.
Now, friends, just like Otis, if you enroll right away, we'll send you free a copy of that bestseller, Well, Shut My Mouth, by that famous radio and TV newsman, David Hot Lips Rush. It was old Hot Lips who scooped the entire industry back in '59 by reporting the great eclipse of the sun of '64. Due to a slight miscalculation, however, he said it would occur in '75 and would be an eclipse of the moon. But only them small-minded and petty people attempt to try to find fault with Brother Dave's predictions. Anyway, his voice was great.
Absolutely.
Kinda.
Now,
Sorta.
also, we are going to throw in, at no extra cost, an autographed picture of Evelyn Fryman.
Hot dog.
Who's a big union guru around the town here. Now, later on, Evelyn may just send you another autograph attached to a little old suspension if you don't cough up them there union dues.
That's right, friends. Just send $2.98 to Hoot and Holler, Adenoid School of Radio Announcing, WWPU, Loudmouth, Maryland.
Well, Cherie, that's about all the time we have for another week yet together here. It was pretty weak this week, I'll tell you. We'll be back next week if the creek don't rise and the sponsors don't cancel. Till then, this is your old coffee-drinking night owl, Hootmore. Your brother No going to tell you where Lazy Luther and the Sugarloaf Mountain Boys are going to be appearing this here week.
Right on, you silly goose.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I heard the manager say the other day to his friend. Anyway, Lazy Luther and the Sugarloaf Mountain Boys next Monday will be appearing at the Potted Plant Pottery Makers in Sunflower, Kansas.
Wonderful.
Next Tuesday and Wednesday at the Jug Band auditions at Saul Cider Mill, McIntosh, Maryland. And then next Thursday afternoon and Friday morning at the Ralph Nader Nitty Gritty Roller Coaster Ride at Marshall Hall Amusement Park. And finally next Saturday afternoon at Saul Spring Sheep Dip at Ramcharge, Montana. Thanks a whole lot and a heap for calling. The old buckboard will be back again just as soon as we get the ball joints fixed.
That's right. So long, friends and neighbors. And remember, a slip of the lip could sink a ship. We'll see you next week.
You got an old copy, I think. Let me look at that thing here. 1942.
Oh, boy. Those
We
were
like
the good
that
old
stuff.
days.
Nobody else
Those
does.
are the good old days, right? 5 minutes to 5. So it was at WWPU in Sorghums, West Virginia.
Okay, boys, come on now. Let's get those ratings up.
Yeah.
It's about 5 minutes before 5 o'clock. Man the mainsail there.
That's our motto. Up your ratings.
Up your ratings. That's hey, that's the memo we'll send, when we... How do you remember that cartoon with the guy says, I quit? Remember that old joke? You remember. Oh, Lord have mercy. 4 minutes before 5 o'clock here, and we'll see you Monday morning on the Johnny Holiday Show.
Yeah, wasn't it nice of Johnny to call and offer us a little shelter in a storm?
I think that's a studio with its own John. I think that's that'll be a thrilling experience. I've never worked in one before, quite that.
No, I work in the studio. You go up with Captain Dan in the helicopter.
Oh, let's not. Captain Sam. I want to work with Captain Sam.
Dan.
So Dan, yes. I think it'll be nice greetings there. Thank you. All of our fans come by giving us those old Italian fella in there gave us the signal there. And that's right. He says the old club restaurant, Alexandria, don't let it blab it around. Says, when his wife cannot no longer crank his linguine, I believe is what he just said. He goes over and has a toot over.
Chicken Lauralee.
Chicken Lauralee at the old...
Virginia ham.
Virginia. Lord, your stomach's acting up a little there. Go ahead, sir. We'll...
Mamma mia.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. He says he goes over to the old club and just goes crazy over that chicken Laura Lee. Yeah, which is the combination chicken and ham. Yeah. Here it is, digest right over here. Yeah, that's right. Bit the top off a Malox bottle. You know he's in trouble. Didn't even bother to uncork it. Got a nervous stomach. What else do you like about the old club? Anything else? Small Bill. Oh, it's your son. I'm sorry. Hi, Bill. I didn't realize that. Little kid over there. He's got a bad stomach. Well, listen, you got to stop eating all that rigatoni and stuff. Go over to the old club and enjoy some good Southern cookies.
Chitlin.
Yeah.
Chitlin.
Sir.
Is that what happens when you die? Rigatoni sets in? Is that what that is?
Rigatoni. It's a great opera by Verdi, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Go over there and whop up a bowl of peanut soup. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Bobby Sherwood in the orchestra. There's a good oldie. Sherwood's Forest here. Walker Scott on the Joy Boy Show this Friday afternoon.
Oh,
Final day.
Mr. Grobley, come in here. We bless your heart. Is that the one I gave you when you left? Betty
This is-
Grobley
This is
brought a...
NBC in Washington.
WRC Washington.
We can pop our corks on Marilyn Cohen and Betty Grobley. Come on in, Betty.
WRC Washington. It's news time. We'll try the network once again. All right, are they there?
NBC Radio News on the Hour, John O'Day reporting. Vietnam peace offer today. This one circulated by United Press International, quoting American and South Vietnamese informed sources. The Allies are supposed to be asking for the release of all U.S. prisoners and cessation of enemy infiltration in exchange for the resignation of President Thieu, total U.S. withdrawal, a bombing halt, and lifting of the blockade. Here's what the White House is saying about this peace report from Richard Valeriani.
Administration sources say the Saigon report is off the mark, but they point out it obviously contains elements that would be included in the final settlement. These sources acknowledge the administration has been discussing a variety of peace plan formulations with both Saigon and Hanoi, and has even discussed the names of potential participants in a coalition government. But they say that General Alexander Haig, who was White House advisor Henry Kissinger's top deputy, and South Vietnamese President Thieu did not discuss the specific package mentioned in the Saigon report when they conferred in Vietnam earlier this week. Richard Valeriani, NBC News, Washington.
The peace offer report affected the stock market. The Dow Jones Industrials climbed 8 points after the news first hit, but then closed the day up just over 4 points. Radio Hanoi is claiming more U.S. pilots have been captured in the downing of 6 planes over the north. The U.S. command denied comment. The General Accounting Office says the McGovern campaign organization may have violated the law. That story in a moment.
Hi, I'm Andy Granatelli. I'd like to tell you about the Wankel, a revolutionary rotary engine we're testing at the STP Corporation. The Wankel is small enough to fit into a compact car, yet powerful enough for a limousine. It works with fewer parts than your piston engine and weighs 1/3 less and rotates somewhat like a turbine. That's why I believe the Wankel is the engine of the future, and that's why we're testing the STP double oil filter on it right now. In its own way, the STP double oil filter is as different and as futuristic as the Wankel. It's not just a single filtering element like the 3 largest selling brands, but a filter in a filter for longer protection against harmful sludge and abrasives that can wear out your engine. Next oil change, ask for the STP double oil filter and start your own revolution.
The STP double oil filter. Not just a single filter, but a filter in a filter to double clean your oil.
The General Accounting Office says there are errors and inconsistencies in McGovern campaign bookkeeping. The GAO has referred 3 possible violations of federal law to the Justice Department. McGovern campaign chairman Lawrence O'Brien said there may have been human mistakes and technical errors, but he says no deliberate attempt was made to conceal anything. The Senate Armed Services Committee has voted against promoting General John Lavelle, who is accused of violating rules in permitting bombing of North Vietnam. A report from John Cochran at the Capitol.
Only 2 senators, Thurmond of South Carolina and Cannon of Nevada, thought Lavelle had been punished enough, and they voted for his promotion. Now the Lavelle question goes before the full Senate. Whatever happens there, Lavelle is still expected to retire on 4-star pay because, officially at least, he left the Air Force for medical reasons. Some senators do not like that, and they're talking about changing the military retirement laws. Senator John Stennis said his committee basically felt that Lavelle disobeyed orders when he sent pilots on bombing missions over North Vietnam last winter. But Stennis said the committee could find no evidence that the Joint Chiefs of Staff was at fault. John Cochran, NBC News at the Capitol.
The federal judge in charge of the Watergate break-in and bugging case today lifted his gag rule, which Democrats had contended would suppress all pre-election comment on the case. Congressman Wright Patman had challenged the rule, keeping those involved from talking about the incident in an effort to set up a congressional investigation of the case. More news after this.
When a wheel hits a bump, it bounces. Your car's wheels are constantly hitting bumps, holes, and obstructions. Without shock absorbers to hold wheels down on the road, you'd go bouncing along with very little control and even less comfort. Sooner or later, shocks wear out and have to be replaced. Monroe shock absorbers are the most popular replacement shocks on the market. No wonder. There's no better shock absorber made. So play safe. Have your shocks checked. If they're worn out, replace them with new Monroe shock absorbers.
Anticipating a filibuster over a tough anti-busing bill, supporters of the legislation took steps today to cut off debate before debate even began. A petition to invoke the cloture rule was submitted shortly after the Senate met to take up the bill. The government reported today that unemployment in September dropped 0.1% to 5.5% of the workforce. A White House economist said that was good. The Democrats disagreed, saying 5.5% was an intolerable level of unemployment. A train wreck in northern Mexico near Saltillo has killed 94 persons and injured more than 400, according to Mexican officials. 6 little girls and their teacher were kidnapped from a school near Melbourne, Australia today. A man later called a newspaper office and demanded $1 million ransom. The hour's top story, the White House has no comment on the latest Vietnam peace offer report, except to say it is totally speculative. John Olde, NBC News.
He was born with wings as great as any bird that flies. All black.
Lucky Lindy. Lucky Lindy, that's the Stutz Bearcat. Boy, all of a sudden, we got lots of people in here. My goodness. And up in the newsroom, a little traffic information from David Rush. Dave?
Eddie, an accident at Route 123 in Chain Bridge is stopping traffic there, and a stalled car on Canal Road is blocking traffic in that area. So motorists who normally use those areas might want to go around this afternoon. The accident has completely blocked traffic down at Chain Bridge. The stalled car on Canal Road is delaying traffic a good bit. That's all we have right now.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. We have with us a gentleman in the studio who, for a long time, has done stock market reports. Are they active today, Dave, or what?
Stock boy, remember you used to
Yeah,
know
we
that?
stopped. Dave Bonson was our stock boy here at NBC.
Are you a bull or a bear? terror, Mr. Von Soten. I understand you're a terror.
Yeah, I'm a lamb right now, Will. Yeah.
Dave does a thing that's a lot of laughs at parties, and it goes over on the radio. Dave is going to do the ping pong championship.
You have to be born with a cleft palate.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go. The
Okay, now you do it as you did that day. Remember,
All right.
did it. Okay.
I'll serve. Okay, George, you ready?
Okay, I'm all ready.
Okay,
Hey, wait, do we jump the net at the end, or?
Yeah, well, no, that's in tennis. You do that,
bust
dummy.
your kidney. Yeah,
Okay, here we go. Here I go.
Hey, nice, sir. Good return. Nice. Get it. Hey, good. Hey, hold. Okay, wait a minute. Hold it. That's it, folks.
That number's Emerson 24000. Emerson 24000.
And in Hyattsville, Eddie, what is that number in Hyattsville?
The number in Hyattsville is, what is it? Tuckerman 2473. Just another pretty face, David Von Soten here. Thank you, Dave.
After hearing that bit, I'm not so sure this new management maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe they've got the...
Well, I don't know. You know, this does bring back memories. As Eddie said, this 505 was always a market deal, and we had a lot of fun with the thing.
Yes,
market wasn't too funny, though, some of those times, was it?
Yeah, certainly wasn't. I lost $250,000 one day. Wipe me out.
That's good.
You remember used to do that? Yeah.
Tell them your old Kleenex joke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Heard about the guy that invested in a paper towel corporation and the revolving door company both in the same day, and they both went broke. He was wiped out before he could turn around.
All right.
Boo. Wait a minute.
Here we go.
Have a little feeling here. This is our last
Move
show.
it over here to Matt.
Mark Russell is standing back here, and he's got a groove.
Wonderful.
Either a cello.
Either that or Mark is going to join a nudist colony. I'm not sure just what you do. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, Mark, come on over.
Mark and Mac.
Mark and Luke and John.
There you go.
We got Mac McGarry here.
Hello,
Big
Eddie.
Mac.
Hello, Eddie. Hello, Eddie.
Hello, Mac. It's been real. It's been fun for many, many years working adjacent to you and around you and with you.
Gee, I really don't know what to say. You sound like you're making a confession. Say 5 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys. Make a good act of contrition.
I always said you should have been a priest, kid.
And now in this management,
we're going to send you off to Boys Town, McGarry. You can do things out there.
Now we're back to the Catholic Standard commercial.
That's right, yeah.
You heard that, yeah. Without a radio.
The high school seniors
Somebody
love
up
us.
there knows
That's the way those folks work.
I know.
Eddie, it has been great. We'll see you soon. Next week, as a matter of fact.
Next week.
I know where you're going.
Yes, all right. We hope. Well, it's no secret
Well,
now.
Willard and I will be here holding each other up. My
Mac
God,
Booth and Willard Booth.
You sit on my lap, baby.
The
when we
Booth
get in there.
twins.
Do you know Mac and I may end up being the world's last staff announcers? Did you ever stop and think about
Kennedy
that?
Ludlam was the only one to live long enough to retire.
The only announcer we know that ever retired was Kennedy Ludlam, with dignity. Announcers either are found dead in motel rooms or, end up
or on
losing.
train
or,
somewhere
yeah, that's right.
outside Buffalo, Mark's hometown.
Terrible. Turn
Fredonia, New
toward
York.
Graham McNamee and say you're sorry.
All I know is a lady just called and said, play Misty for me.
Bill Trumbull. There was no lady. Bill Trumbull did call, by the way.
Who's he?
He wants his old job.
Oh, right. Sit down, Mark.
Listen, would you hold my cello for a minute? I have the new man here that replaces you on Monday, and
Matthew Russell.
Yeah,
Say
this
hello
is
to the
Matthew Russell. He's going to say something right now. Go ahead.
The best man in the Washington area bought a new Dodge from is named Clyde Drumfelter.
No, I didn't tell him to do that commercial for Clyde Fraunfelder. Just off exit 1 on the belt. Listen, thank you, man.
He should meet Elliot Denenberg's daughter.
Hey, did they pick that up? All right, good. Because he can do it again, you know.
Never mind.
That was great, man, dude.
Now, also, I think... May I borrow the chair, please, Renee?
You see, folks, what you don't know is on the radio, you have to use your imagination, but let me assure you, Mark brought his cello with him. And I didn't even know Mark played the cello. You will know that Mark does not play the cello in just a few minutes.
Yeah, well, a little classical music would be in tune right now. If you could bring the thing down here.
With that thing, doesn't it?
All right. Oh, I forgot my little thing. Right, it's very, very...
Oh, Rosin boy.
All right, here we go. This is. I feel very sad, of course, and I want to echo all of the notes of solace that have been expressed here. And so, without further ado, may I give you.
Chester.
Who wiped that smile off you? I heard you. You did it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
That number's Murray Hill 89933. All right, the wheel goes round.
Oh,
hello.
hello.
Hello. Oh, he's got
Thank
it.
you.
He's got it over
Thanks
there.
for calling.
Gee, Mark, that was terrible.
Johnny
No,
Holiday says, forget it, Eddie.
Yeah. Hey, I got to do
You know what the symphony rates? I get a nickel for that. Do you realize that? Also, Warner Wolf couldn't be here, but but I've been asked to do my impersonation of Warner Wolf doing Shakespeare.
All right, let me
You
hear
ready?
it. Yeah.
Warner Wolf doing Shakespeare. To be or not to be? Right, wrong? That is the question, man. Boo of the week, Hamlet, indecisive, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, just keep playing, Mark. It'll help me with the commercial.
Your shots.
If you're looking...
I mean, more than that.
If you're looking for a great place to treat your family and yourself, why don't you stop by the Lido Restaurant, which is just off University of Maryland campus in Adelphi. The Lido offers you the finest selection of superb... Make it a nickel, will you? Prepared Italian-American specialties. Excellent food and fast service. Moderate prices. Convenient locations, too. Now you'll find it all at the Lido's. It's the place for lunch, for dinner, or for a late-night snack. Yes, or whatever happens there. Also, they have convenient carry-out service, so if you eat too much, they'll carry you out. And pizza, oh, the best pizza in the world. Ask Nelson Funk, a great pizza lover from way back, who eats at the Lido all the time. The pizza's delicious, their own special recipe. The Lido is the place, and don't forget, Saturdays they're open till 1 a.m. and on Sundays till midnight. That's the Lido Restaurant, located at 2420 University Boulevard in Adelphi, Maryland, the finest Italian-American food anywhere. And by the by, be sure to listen to John Wagner and his University of Maryland Report. Fridays, tonight at 6:10 p.m., brought to you by the Lido. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the inclement weather, through the rain, neither rain nor snow, nor sleet nor hail, shall keep Frank Forrester from coming to the Joy Boy Show. Frank, come here. Affectionately known as Old Forrester. Bring him on.
Yeah, about this rain, the flow of the Potomac River is getting...
Tell us about Rube Marquardt and all those guys.
Yeah.
So what's happening, Frank? You know what's happening here. What's happening with you?
That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm representing the president, Ed. What's the latest word?
Well, latest word is... Where's the unemployment office? No, no, it's really like old times. Geez, it's like a party at somebody's house, you know. Next thing you know, Willard will be doing his act, and we can't do that on radio. I think.
I just did. Frank, really
Fair
nice.
and mild at home.
How about Mike? Did he come by tonight?
Mike? No, Mike's not here. He wanted to be here.
Best Joy Boys fan we ever had.
He's a great
Terrific.
fan.
He's learned how to fly a plane this summer, believe it or not.
Literally? I mean,
Literally,
pilot
yes,
a plane.
yes,
Is
yes,
that terrific?
Right.
I'm sorry you didn't show up this
I'm not going to say anything about Ed. I'm all choked up. Can't say any words.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. Well, we're going to miss it. It is fun. We hope to be back in business soon. We're going to be with Johnny Holiday and WWDC starting Monday morning. And yes, that's a little something we worked up.
Any press releases out on it, Ed?
Well, no, not yet. We have a few things on Holiday, and he had to do it. That's the simple truth of the matter is.
I lost the tape, but Eddie managed to save the picture.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, look, Siegel, come over here. The one guy in this whole building. Come here. You son of a gun. One of the few guys that...
What a column today. What a brilliant...
Wait a minute. Willard Mike says get on mic. You're not being heard here.
That's probably
You guys had this kind of audience when you were here regularly, you would have never been leaving.
You're right.
Where were they when we needed
Yeah, where were they, Mo?
I got to tell you something very seriously. I've listened to you guys for a long time, and I just want to say I always thought you were consistently lousy.
And we proved it today.
And finally, NBC came to its wits, or half-wits, as the case may be, and there you go. Incidentally, this WWDC, is this a commercial or something? You finally got a sponsor, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, on this program.
Yeah. We figure Holiday's the only guy in town worse shape than we are, so we can help him out a little bit.
Who is Holiday?
See, that's what all the towns say.
We'll know after Monday, huh?
That's right.
I got to tell you this, both Ed, and this is the happiest funeral since the death of Hitler, for me. And I think you're marvelous.
You've given away our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, from Argentina, here he is, Adolf Hitler. You belong, be quiet.
excuse me. We got to sell something. And now, one of the great actors of our time steps up to the microphone after the musician gives the downbeat, and we hear... Hit it, Howie.
On Grand Union for discounts and more than discounts. Add up the Grand Union quality extras. All Grand Union meats, produce, and groceries are guaranteed to please, or your money back. Now start subtracting. Grand Union means discounts in all departments all the time. This week's discount specials prove the point. USDA Grade A boneless turkey roast, 88 cents a pound. Mild cured fully cooked ham, shank portion, 59 cents a pound. Grand Union Grade A extra large eggs, 57 cents a dozen. Count on better meals. Count on better shopping. Remember, you can count on Grand Union for discounts and more than discounts. Grand Union, we're counting on you to know the difference.
Don't forget, new Grand Union Supermarket now open on Little River Turnpike in Annandale, Virginia, next to Kmart. That was a recorded announcement from Rodell. Let's hear it for Rodell Productions.
Rodell Productions. The sound sensation of the capital of the nation.
They use a Silvertone wire recorder. That's how they get
only
that
recording studio use a web core. That's right. And we have a little note here. You didn't see this, did you, Ed? Hold on to this piece of strip of film, like. It says, Dear Ed and Willard, we here in graphics from television have enjoyed doing all the graphics for your radio show for these years. Good luck to you both, the NBC Graphics Department, Tom, Marshall, and Larry.
Thank you, fellas. That's right. Appreciate that. Hey, listen, we're going to get to the final episode of The Worm Turns here in just a minute. I got to do this for David's Men's Shop because, you know, everybody needs pants. And David's have paid their bill. David's Men's Shop, really, one of our newer sponsors, but I must say one of the nicest, one of the loyalist sponsors. And they're out there at Silver Spring, 8627 Colesville Road in Silver Spring. Any store that can outfit Fred Fisk can't be half bad. That's the way I look at it. So we want you to come on over and see all the great clothes they have. If that's Fisk, I'm not here. See all the clothes they have. It is Fisk.
Oh, the price is right. Thank you, Fred.
Next to a new suit. Oh, he's not on there anymore. All right. And don't forget, they have all the latest in fall and winter clothing, the leather goods from Lakeland and Zero King, and the double knits and all the goodies. They have tailoring on the premises, free gift wrapping. They honor all the major credit cards. They have parking in the rear. That's free. And you have great people to help you out. Teddy Smith and Stu and all the guys at David's. Open till 9 o'clock. They honor their credit cards. And they have gift certificates if you're not sure of that guy's size. And that's 8627 Colesville Road in Silver Spring.
Hey, Mark, wait a second. I got a second here. Where's Mark? Yeah. Mark, did you hear about the Japanese boatload of yo-yos that was torpedoed off Australia?
No, what about the Japanese boatload of yo-yos that was torpedoed off of Australia?
It went down 350 times.
That reminds me. Well, never mind.
Hey, you know, we were just thinking, we are not the only ones going down on this ship. See, I build everything. There's a purpose.
Hey, I appreciate that.
We are not the only ones going down, friends. We are also in the same school of Ed Walker and Mac McGarry and all the great names that are leaving, Larry Walton and all the biggies. Louis Benelli, our music librarian.
Yeah, Louis.
Fantastic. Lou, this is your life. Lou, will you ever remember Monday afternoon, 1:30 the phone rang. Bruce San Antonio got you on the telephone and said, would you come up, Lou? I got something I want to talk to you about. And after 22 years of serving the company faithfully, what did he say, Lou? Nothing. He said, 2 weeks from today, it'll be a week you've been gone, which is a subtle way of giving it to you.
We just got a call from Shorty Murray, and Shorty has gotten permission from one of the NBC executives to give us an award. He said that we get the old popcorn popper that used to be a master control in the Sheraton Park Hotel.
Oh, now
that?
That's a biggie.
That?
Yeah, we need that.
That's right.
Lou, come in here and say goodbye to your friends, too.
We should get fired every day.
I know. This is terrific.
Just remember, show business is my life. Yeah. My life is show business. And as we go down this vale of tears and finally shuffle off this mortal coil, I don't think we have a thing to worry about.
Even in death, we don't get a chance to compete with him, do we? No. Good luck, Lou.
Good luck.
See you later, babe. We love you.
Well, you just blew the worm turns this half hour. If you want, I'll sing My Mother's Eyes. You'll walk right and guiding.
Oh, brother.
Some of the great old radio themes. Walker and Scott here over what's left of the NBC radio network. Oh, easy. We got a problem. He's got... Have you tried Tristan? Thank you. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. We have the sports, then we have the news, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll have one more worm turns. 5:25, Mac, do it.
Okay, Eddie, Dan Daniels with the Jim Simpson Sports Show, presented by Kirby's Dodge, where Dodge for Dodge, deal for deal, you always get more in value and service. The dealer to see for 73 is Kirby's Dodge, 10th Street, North Washington Boulevard, Arlington. Now here's Dan.
Thank you, Mac. Good afternoon. Redskins Park was off limits today to everybody, press, radio, television, as well as to sightseers who are always barred. George Allen issued the decree after a dispute yesterday with two reporters who cover the team. Allen's fuse began to grow short last Monday when he blamed the media for the Redskins' loss to the Patriots, who had called the team patsies in one headline. Yesterday, he asked newsmen not to report on personnel changes they had seen during 3 days of practice. When they declined, Allen launched into a tirade saying, "All you guys want to do is hurt the team. What we do on the practice field is our business." Newspapers today reported possible changes in the Redskins lineup, with emphasis on the possibility that Sonny Jurgensen would start at quarterback. Today, the practice field was closed to newsmen. Allen talked to both, however, at the close of the practice session. So, 2 days before the Redskins are to meet the Eagles at Kennedy Stadium, Allen is faced with one of those distractions he dislikes so intensely. He built the Redskins complex to get away from distractions. He decries speculation about his starting quarterback as a distraction. Controversy about booing by Washington fans 2 weeks ago, a distraction. And now this, certainly the most serious distraction of all so far. Maybe you could wonder if there's something more deep-rooted than all this. Is Allen concerned about this team, which has done most of its scoring as a result of special teams work, and its defense has allowed 981 yards in 3 games? One thing for sure, it'll take a big win over the Eagles on Sunday to get things back to anything near normal. The National League Playoff Series opens tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Pittsburgh with lefty Don Gullett pitching for Cincinnati against Steve Blass of the Pirates. Back with more sports after Mac for Kirby's Dodge.
Okay, thank you, Dan. I know Jim Simpson joins me in thanking Elgin, Kirby and Company for their generous sponsorship over the years. Here and now, the 1973 Dodges at Kirby's Dodge in Arlington. From the luxurious medium-priced Monaco to the economical little Colt, they're all new, all improved, all ready to give you the comfortable, easy ride you come to expect in a dependable Dodge. Look them over at Kirby's, test drive a couple of them, and get down to business and talk trade-in and price. People dealing with Kirby's Dodge for the first time are always surprised and pleased by the high trade-in and easy terms. That's why so many of Kirby's customers are repeaters. They come back because of the all-round good deal and first-class follow-up service. That on-the-spot bank financing means a lot, too. No high pressure, just the friendly, good guy approach that's made Kirby's Dodge the leader for almost 50 years. While you're there, take a good look at the new Dart Sport. This snappy little compact comes with optional sunroof, or you can get a fold-down rear seat for more storage or sleeping room. See all the great new Dodges and ask about the 72 year-end specials. Kirby's Dodge, 10th Street, North Washington Boulevard, Arlington. Dodge and Kirby's. Depend on them.
David Graham of Australia leads after 2 rounds of the $300,000 Pacific Masters Golf. Warriors announced today that Rick Barry will rejoin the club immediately. He's under court order not to play for any team other than the Warriors. The NBA opens its season next week, and the National Hockey League begins its 55th season tomorrow.
Dan Daniels with the Jim Simpson Sports Show, presented by Kirby's Dodge, where Dodge for Dodge, deal for deal, you always get more in value and service. The dealer to see for 73 is Kirby's Dodge, 10th Street, North Washington Boulevard in Arlington. This is Mac McGarry. It's 5:30 at WRC, Washington. The news is brought to you by Friendly Progressive Equitable Savings and Loan Association of Washington and Wheaton. Your insured passbook savings earn 5% per annum at 93-year-old Equitable, the better place to save. And now the news.
A final inspection of the Longfellow building on Connecticut Avenue has shown the structure to be safe for occupancy, and Labor Department employees who work in the building are to report to their jobs as scheduled Tuesday.
Are you all ready over there? It's 25 and a half before 6. Now back to Walker and Scott.
We're here because we're here. Thank you, Mac. Thanks to Dan. Thanks to Dave. 3 of the weirdest-looking guys in show business. Anyway, it's 25 minutes to 6, and I hope you are with us because this is the finale. This is the last 25. I'm not going to get sickening about this because if I do, I'll cry, and I hate to hear a grown man cry on radio. Where's Willard? He cut out already. in the last part of the show, and he can't even stand it. 25 minutes to 6 o'clock. We will have, if he gets back, the final episode of As the Worm Turns. Right now, if you want something to read this evening, guys, if you want to sit home and really get your kicks, or gals, listen to this.
Some men have a wife.
Yes.
Some have a mistress.
Good heavens.
Some have both.
Uh-huh.
Every woman must read How to Find and Fascinate a Mistress. Now a pocketbook.
Oh, fantastic book. Written by Maurice Siegel.
WRC Radio, in cooperation with Johnson & Swanson, world's greatest manufacturer of first aid kits, brings you another visit with Mr. Fixit, radio's original do-it-yourselfer program. Today, as we join Mr. Fixit in his basement workshop, we find ourselves outside his basement workshop because it's technically impossible to do our show inside his basement workshop because today we're working outside of his basement workshop in connection with a scientific experiment not connected with his basement workshop. Ahoy there, Mr. Fixit.
Ahoy there, Willard Scott. How are you?
Fine, Mr. Fixit. How are you?
Fine. I think we've got a very interesting project for the folks this afternoon.
You've been working diligently here, haven't you?
That's the word, diligently. Yes, indeedy do.
And what have you been doing, Mr. Fixit?
Well, I thought this afternoon we'd discuss lightning rods.
Lightning rods, Mr. Fixit?
That's right. You know, this is the season of the year when you begin to have the electrical storms.
True.
And I know that a lot of people are very hesitant to run any electrical appliances in their home when there is an electric storm. For
I thought this was an old-fashioned concept, though.
Oh, no, you'd be surprised at the people even today that won't watch television, listen to the radio, or even talk on the telephone for fear lightning will strike and blow up the set or the radio or the telephone or them or something.
What's your solution, Mr. Fixit?
Very simple, Willard. A lightning rod is the basic and simple solution to all these problems.
Wonderful. And are you going to build one here for us?
Well, of course, you don't build a lightning rod. The only thing you do there is to buy it and then put it on the side of your house. So you see, we have this long rod here. It's a metallic affair. And we anchor it here, as I've just done, for the purposes of saving time. I'm just finishing it up here. Anchoring it on the side of the house, you see?
I see you've had your wiring put up to the roof already, haven't you?
That's correct. Now, the other end of this rod is grounded. Now, you see I have a rather heavy wire. I've already run it underground. All I got to do is just sort of hook it on here.
Well, now, this is the important part because this is the conductor for the electricity, right?
That's right. The theory being, of course, that lightning will be attracted to the best possible ground, and that would be your lightning rod.
Taking the lightning away from your house and your electrical appliances.
That's right. Now, I have all of the electrical lights. The telephone is off the hook. The radio's on. The television's on. Toaster's on. The coffee maker. Everything in the house is on. And should it storm right now, rest assured there would be no trouble from my new lightning rod.
We've been visiting with radio's original do-it-yourselfer, Mr. Fixit, who has done it himself. Brought to you by Johnson & Swanson, the world's foremost manufacturer of first aid kits. Be listening again next week when you'll hear Mr. Fixit say...
Old Wild West is your team. The ranch has an Olympic swimming pool. And to park my horse, well, it's a dime, of course. I sure don't remember that rule. The Last Change Saloon's got a powder room, and there's a payphone in Old Lost Mine. Where you used to see the SO pumps, well, now there's an Exxon sign. There's an Exxon sign, reckon they're changing the name. But the Tiger's there, and so I'll swear the gasoline's the same. We're changing our name, Exxon, but not our stripe. Sheriff Culhane's bought a helicopter plane to keep them cowhands in line. And where you used to see SO gasoline, well, now there's an Exxon sign. We're changing our name, Exxon, but not our stripes. We're changing our name, Exxon, but not our stripes.
It's 20... Okay, 21 minutes before 6 o'clock on the Walker Scott Joy Boy Show. We can say it one more time. Hey, listen, for fine personal service and, of course, expert advice on interior or exterior painting problems, we've had the pleasure of talking about old Bo Dyer and all of his friends at the Dyer Brothers paint stores. When we started with them, there was only one. Now, as a result of our spots on the radio, they've gone out of business. No, they have 3 stores now. 3 stores, but they don't attribute that to our spots. They also bought
package they bought on Weem. That's what did it.
Anyway, we want you to visit Dyer Brothers. Visit the nearest Dyer Brothers to you. It's a great paint store established back in 94. 78 years they've been in business. And we want you to stop by and see the famous Martin Senior paints.
Hitler there was a painter.
Yes, he could paint, too.
He could paint an entire apartment in one afternoon, 2 coats.
I know that, but one afternoon, 2 coats. The Fuhrer was a good painter. Anyway, complete supplies for artists and wall coverings and picture framing and everything you need you'll find at Dyer Brothers, plus the expert advice, and that's free. They give you that. And we hope you will check out the exclusive Martin Senior Williamsburg colors. Dyer Brothers, conveniently located at 1980 Chain Bridge Road, McLean, Virginia, Rockville, and Arlington. Dyer Brothers, we love you.
Boy, you guys really know how to put on a wake. I've never seen anything like this in my life. You're dragging up people coming in this control room now, Eddie, that I haven't seen for 200 years.
That's right.
The lovely Fred Sellers, idle in the early 30s.
And he's idle in the early 70s, too.
Elliot Denenberg, a legend in his time.
I worked for him once in my life, that Elliot Denenberg.
The man who made Uncle Ralph Nader a household word in America today, one of the truly giants in the advertising business, Daisy McHenry.
Hey,
Daisy! Come on in here. Come here and say hello to the folks. Daisy is our famous switchboard operator who, for years, sat on her
patch cord.
On her patch cord there, with her thumb in her ear, answering the NBC switchboard. In fact, when we had our famous NBC coloring book that was distributed to 7 languages, I believe, all over the world, Daisy had a page in that book. And Daisy recently retired.
I've heard that Daisy had a couple of pages up in the switchboard room
I
one
understand,
time, too.
but yes, that's right.
I don't know if that's the case.
Somebody lit a match one day in that switchboard room and blew out 17 extensions. Hey, Carol James, ladies and gentlemen, just stepped in.
Hi.
That's right. Yeah. Herman Hamazu. Let's get Where's Milt Grant? I'm not going to leave the air till Milt Grant shows up.
Golly. He's over cooking chicken at Hagee's.
Yeah.
Well, we got to do the worm. They're yelling at me from the control room. They want to do a Randy Goon. Anybody wants to hear a Randy Goon?
Boo! Let's do the worm.
All right. Well, you got a phone call here, a gentleman that you've got to talk to. We'll do a record, then we'll do the worm. Let's do that, fellas. Okay? And Willard, take this call because the man's nickel is running out. His dime is running out. Oh, this sounds like a class record. That's right. Let me hear you sing.
Beautiful blue.
Oh, I think I'm going to throw up again here. Arthur, that was without a doubt. Of all the records I've heard in 20 years on the radio, the worst.
You like that one?
I loved it.
Well, I say goodbye to you guys. You know, years ago, I used to be the morning man here for WRC and WMAL.
They released you from your duties, didn't they, Arthur?
And they said I was too nasal to be on the air.
Oh, how could they ever say that, Arthur?
Same team. Also said Kate Smith would never make it. She was too big.
But the moon did come over the mountain, didn't it?
And so did Kate. So long, everybody, and good luck, Joy Goys. I wish you the best.
Yes. Arthur. All right. This time I would like to do a commercial for the Catholic Standard.
That don't fit somehow.
I'm sorry. I didn't do that right. By the way, I apologize for not writing the song about Timonium, but with the pressures that be and the fact that I couldn't find a typewriter and the music for the tune, I was unable to do it. But we will do it at some future date. Thank you.
Don't count on that. Don't forget, we'll be with Johnny Holiday starting on Monday morning on WWDC. And thank you, Mrs. Holiday. I'm sure I've heard his show, too. He needs help. But we'll be there starting Monday, and we'll have a few laughs with our
You ever seen John get loaded at a party?
No.
It's what they call holiday sauced.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think I will do the Catholic Standard commercial.
Go ahead, George.
Now, the Catholic Standard, Washington area's official Catholic weekly newspaper, celebrates its 21st anniversary in October, Catholic Standard Press Month. So why don't you renew your subscription or become a subscriber through your parish. It's about 13 and a half minutes in front of 6 o'clock here on the Walker Scott Show, the Joy Boy Show for Friday, for the last time over this station. And we hope that you will stay with us now. Are you ready? Are you off the phone? Are you got your undivided attention?
I'm ready.
Then it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for...
And now, the continuing and concluding episode as the worm turns. The story of La High. Today in a big city hospital.
My face again, man.
Brought to you by Scuff No More. the miracle plastic product of the space age to spray on your children to protect them from management and other evil things that might come along in the night.
And go whoomp. What do you... Mr. Announcer, please. Oh, don't do that.
All week long in Big City Hospital, we've been in the office of kindly doctor and throat surgeon, the lovely Clayton Jackson Durante.
You gotta start off each day with a song.
We don't need
Even
that.
when they...
MD, DDT, and I'll forget the rest of it. A top 40 jock, a young pearly white, all-night man at the local rock station, called not too long ago in the middle of the night with a problem. Apparently, he had taken out the young receptionist a week ago, and something had developed. Well, apparently the young rock jock's throat was beginning to bother him, and as today's episode takes place, the young jock confesses to the doctor.
Doc, you gotta
Understand that something strange has happened to me. I've been
working at this rock station now for about 6 years on the...
all-night guy, and you see I swing...
Wait a minute.
What do you think?
Doc, is there...
There's only 2 doctors in the country that know what's the matter with you.
What do you...
think's wrong with me, Doc?
Me and Dr. Mylickson.
Dr.
Mylickson?
Yeah, the famous throat man.
Do you think he could...
help?
I don't think... How old are you, kid?
26, Doc.
I'll tell you what's happened to you.
What do you think, Doc?
Your voice is changing.
Well, Doc, that's impossible. I'm 26 years old. Your voice
changes when you're about 16.
When you start doing them rock record shows at age 15 or 16,
Yeah.
it sort of locks your vocal cords in the open position.
You mean I got
locked vocal cords?
Yeah, but now they're locked in the other position. Pretty soon you won't be able to talk that way no more. You only got one choice, and let me get you a job.
Doc, you're the most wonderful guy I've ever worked in my life. Believe me, I'll see to it, Doc. Someday I can do the best I can.
Joe, I got another one up here. He can work the 12 to 8 shift for you. Yeah, he's terrific. Okay? Right. Here, take this number, go down to this guy, ask for Joe, and he'll give you a job right away. The
What am I
Greyhound
gonna
bus
do, Doc?
station. You'll be calling buses for Greyhound. Try it.
Bus now leaving on gate 7. Hey, Doc! Thank you very much. Another top rock jock bites the dust but goes to better things. Well, what have we here? Hope for an old swinging jock. You... Uh-oh, it's all over. No second page. That means this is it, folks. The show is over. Well, thanks to Damon DeValero and to Denise. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
And to Tandaleo T. Thomas. This has been a Damon Del Tandel production and has come to you from Washington. This program was program is live. Who wrote that in there? So long, and love to you all from all of us here at The Worm. The Worm will return Monday on WWDC.
More sausages, Mom. More pork sausages, Mom. Please.
Burn low on the hearth. The wind whistles outside the shutters as we relax in the quietude of our own homes. At the end of this busy day, it's time once more to pause and meditate as we hear from the pen of the great writers selections by Randolph W. Goon on Goon River Anthology. Mr. Goon, a beloved poet, renowned for his works of art, will now... Mr. Goon, are you all right, sir?
I think I'm booked to the water on my knee.
I think something happened.
Gracious.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Randolph W. Goon.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer, and good evening, fellow poet lovers, and welcome to the program. Tonight we have some poems for you, and
what is your first poem this evening?
It's called The Washer.
The Washer.
The Washer. At sports, I'm pretty clever, from football to being an archer. But one thing that drives me mad is a sink with an old worn-out washer. I get up in the morning to wash my fat old face, and I run the water for 20 minutes, and then to my disgrace, I find that it's all run out and down the drain. And this always gives me a pain. I've asked my wifey dear at least 1,000 times to please go down to any old store in town and buy a new one for the sink. But alas and alack, this she will never do. Meanwhile, I keep a dirty face and get a water bill that would make you faint, and me too.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Goon.
Wasn't too poetic.
No, it wasn't.
It's the thought that counts in poetry.
Mr. Goon's next poem for this evening is entitled A Good Night's Sleep.
Thank you. Good Night's Sleep by Randolph W. Goon.
I said that.
That's me. I'm a man who likes to sleep, and at the end of a busy day, by 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock, I'm ready to hit the hay. And so I climb into my bed, all set for a good night's sleep. And then the phone, it starts to ring. It's my neighbor, that little creep. So I tell him where to go and slam the phone down on the hook. And then I think I hear downstairs the sound of a nasty crook. So I take my gun in hand, my nerves and muscles twitching, and go downstairs to see what's there. It's just a cat in the kitchen. Well, while I'm there, a snack I have. Some milk and crackers and some cheese. And because I'm standing in a draft, I start to cough and sneeze. Oh yeah. And so disenchanted and full of despair, I go back upstairs to get in bed. Only to find 3 of my wife's relatives have already beaten me there. Boy, let me tell you, did that burn me up when that happened last week.
That was a true incident.
I threw the whole bunch of them out of the house.
I see.
Not gonna eat my roast beef.
Thank you. Now, in closing, here is Randolph Goon's thought for today.
You can always lead a horse to water, providing he's on the wagon.
Thank you. If you wish copies of today's poems, please send $5,000 to Randolph W. Goon.
$5,000?
That's the amount of his bail bond. You see, he's been plagiarizing. And so until next week...
Promise you wouldn't tell.
We bid you good night.
Good night.
Ah, there's the ever-popular Randolph W. Goon and his poem for this afternoon. It's 3 minutes away from 6 o'clock, and what do you do in the last 3 minutes of a show? Well, hey, David, get on mic. David Rush, who's been a newsman with us, who has suffered through our insults, our jibes.
50 years.
Yes, and it's true, David. You would never work in the same studio with us unless absolutely necessary, would you?
That is exactly right, and I can give away our secret now. The reason you were never able to break me up is because I had the monitor turned off and couldn't hear you.
You watched the light.
That's the only reason. Never would I work in the same studio with you.
I wanted you to tell that story.
I thought it was our breath there, for a while.
But that is the reason you were never able to break me up.
His breath?
Yes.
Now, you're dynamite, and the fact that you work up at another floor.
Yes.
You always turn the monitor down, and you would never... Remember the time we brought the tour in, and we did get you once?
Yes, you did.
You're in the lobby of the Dollhouse.
Yeah.
And we haven't mentioned that on this show, but all the people that used to come to the Dollhouse lobby, really, we've had 3 generations grow up around us in that lobby.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Terribly old.
Yes, it does.
And dependent. Desperately, yeah.
We got to thank a couple of people here this afternoon.
Thank you,
Dave, bless
Thank
your
you
heart.
very much.
For coming, all the people that came by here today, we want to thank, and all the people, the many, many people that wrote to us, that called, and of course, our engineers. Without these guys, this show would have never been anything.
Will Hagee
and Mike Barry, really, God love them. And in the past, guys like Leroy Van Winkle and Art Semig and Bob Shenton,
Arthur Page,
Art Page, and Bill Peoples, and guys that just did things above and beyond the call of duty for Jeff Blair, who was with us this afternoon too, and old Hanoi Hickman.
Johnny Hickman, John's our producer today. I think Cyrano said it, how fate loves a jest, but greatest people in the world.
Candy, I want to thank you too, honey. Candy was just invaluable to me over the last couple of years down here, and all the people that what do you say?
I say let's leave on a positive note. We'll see you Monday morning on WWDC.
Right, with Johnny. Guy Lombardo's drummer goes berserk on a dance band remote tonight over NBC. WRC, Washington, it's 6 o'clock.